Hey there everyone, it's Misty here. Welcome to another update video. We are back at the kitchen table. It's a little echoey in here, I'm not sure why. But I'm here today to give you an update. So I saw 4 out of my 8 doctors last week. So I thought I would share, plus we're just a couple of days away from being 1 full month post-op from my laminectomy and the other ectomy, I still don't know what it's called. So yeah, I haven't weighed in a couple of days, but I was 392 the last time I weighed. And I think the last time I saw you guys, I was 394. So I'm down a couple of pounds. I was down 5 pounds from my regular doctor when I saw him on Friday. So that's pretty good. Weight's going in the right direction. Producing ketones like gangbusters. It's been 0.7 the last couple of times that I've checked it. So definitely, sticking with keto, doing that, and just hoping and praying that the weight comes off. The last couple of mornings, not this morning, but the last 2 mornings before this, my blood sugars were in the low 100s. I'm talking about like 102 and 104. One day I woke up and it said it was 80. So I'm hoping by December or by the end of the year that I can start weaning myself back off insulin. Now, if you're diabetic, don't do that unless you are under the direct supervision of a doctor. But both of my doctors, my primary and my endocrinologist, have given me the okay to back down on my insulin when I need to do that. I literally check my insulin before and after every meal, and sometimes just random times of the day. And if I'm testing something, like last week or the week before last, I was testing diet soda and stuff like that. And I'm going to film a separate video on that, and I'll post that. I also did a separate video on this makeup look. I used the Tati Beauty eyeshadow palette today, and I wanted to wear this tangerine sweater. This is from Old Navy. I bought a 5. That was a bad idea. The problem is, so let me just go ahead and talk about this before I forget. So you guys remember last year I was like at 357. So I'm up almost 50 pounds from last year. Well, last year I did a big clothing purge and got rid of all of my big sizes. So I've had to buy a couple of new sweaters, and I bought some sweatshirts from Torrid. The one thing I forgot to buy was jeans. So we went out. I wore jeans on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I was in a size 24. And whoo, doggy. Now, when I first put them on, they were hella tight because if you've ever worn jeans from Old Navy, they have stretch in them. So when you first put them on the first of the day, they're like 4 sizes too small, and then by the end of the day you're pulling them up because they're falling down your body. So when I bought sweaters, I was like, am I a 4? Am I a 5? It's really hard from Old Navy, especially because their sizing is so Willy Wonka. With Torrid, I basically know. So I bought a 5X in this sweater. This is where I'm going with this, and I probably could have gotten a 3. I didn't send it back because I kind of like it oversized a little bit. But anyway, I wanted to wear this sweater today, so I did this eye look. I literally have nothing going on today except filming this video and going to therapy. But it's been a while. So let's start with the surgeon. I went and saw the PA for the surgeon, Jake from State Farm, on Wednesday, and everything is actually really going well. My incision is not completely healed, and he's a little concerned about that. I have a little spot toward the top of the incision that isn't all the way closed. He said it's not very big, but he just wants to give that an opportunity to close before I'm able to get in the hot tub, etc. He said bath. I don't take baths, but I have been dying to get into our hot tub, and I haven't been able to do that. It also means that I can't restart the methotrexate, which is what I've been taking for the rheumatoid arthritis. So the rheumatoid arthritis has been, this morning was the absolute worst morning that I've had. And I think a lot of that has to do with it's really super humid today. It's supposed to rain tonight. And we're also getting a cold front, so it's just a couple of issues that are kind of compounding. But I woke up and my fingers were hella swollen. They're not so swollen now. I'm still wearing press-on nails. Did I talk about that last week? I don't think so. I got the okay to drive, so I'm driving today. Rob went back to work on this past Monday, and we are really blessed that he has a job that allows him to work from home if he needs to. He literally worked from home. He took off that week of the surgery. So he was off Tuesday through Friday. So starting on the 8th and then whatever that Friday was. And then he started working at home that following Monday. So really blessed that he's been here. Recovery, those first couple of days, like I mentioned, I thought I was going to die. But recovery since then has been pretty dang good. I have been walking around the house without my walker. When my physical therapist was here on Monday, he's like, whoa, look at you up walking around without your walker. I was like, yeah. And he looked at me and he said, keep on doing it if you can do it. He wants me to add more reps to my exercises. I think I do, I do pelvic tilts, bridges, heel slides, this kind of hamstring stretch. I do a thing where you hold your legs out. Then I do posterior something in that one. And then I do clamshells. And then I do 12 exercises, I guess. And my goal has been 20 reps. And now he wants me to do, 20 reps. And now he wants me to see if I can bump it up to 30. So that's going really well. And then he'll be here Friday and he wants to add some more exercises, and I'm ready for that. I've been considering water aerobics. I'm going to talk to my spine surgeon when I see him. I see him again on November 20th. He wanted to see me in 3 weeks to make sure the incision. So if the incision is good, I'm considering doing water aerobics a couple of days a week. I just want to make sure, it's really hard with the myasthenia. That's what I told my neurologist when I saw her on the Thursday. She's like, how's it going? And I'm like, well, I said that azathioprine is working better than the mycophenolate did. I said, but I'm still only getting like 35% relief of my symptoms. And I don't know. I still feel like I want to see somebody else, but unless I'm willing to go to a Mayo clinic, I don't know that there is somebody else. So I really need to reach out to them and see about getting an appointment or something, and see what's going on, because I just don't feel like, I don't know. I've talked about that before. I just don't feel like I'm getting a good level of care from her. But she's very well respected around there. So who knows? Maybe I am. And I don't know what exactly I need. So saw the rheumatologist after my neurologist on Thursday. And she was completely perplexed why I'm still on azathioprine, which is an immune suppression drug, but I'm not on the methotrexate, which is also it suppresses your immune system, but it's considered a chemo drug. And I told her, I was like, don't ask me. I don't have MD after the end of my name. I just know that they said no to the methotrexate, and I was able to take azathioprine the day of surgery. I have not been off that. So yeah. Jake and I talked about my blood sugars. I mentioned to him that, I was running in the 300s in the hospital, but after 2 days of being home, I was back in the low 100s, mid 100s. The highest it's been was over 200, and that was the day I had Diet Dr. Pepper. So I can no longer have Diet Dr. Pepper, and I can no longer have Diet A&W. But again, I'm going to film a separate video about that. Friday, I saw my primary care physician, and he went ahead and did blood work. He's like, I kind of want to do your A1C again. And I just had it done September. And it was like 7.8 or 7.7. Because we were talking about my blood sugars in the hospital, and he was like, why were they so high? I was like, well, number one, they weren't following my insulin protocol. They were giving me 20 units of insulin a day, and I normally take 100. And I said, number two, they were pumping me full of carbohydrates. And I said, once I was able to have a double portion of protein, and I was only having like sauteed veggies, which was normally peppers, onions, and mushrooms, I said, and some broccoli, I said, I was fine. My blood sugars, weren't great because they still weren't giving me enough insulin, but they were, in the low 200s rather than the high 300s. So he went ahead and did my A1C again, and it was 7.5. So we've come down a little bit, because I told him, I was like, I'm averaging, my meter says my 30-day average is about 150, which is pretty good. That's about 10 points above 80 to 140 or whatever it's supposed to be after eating. Maybe it's even 180 after eating. I don't remember. So it's getting better, and I'm so excited about that. We are coming upon the holidays, and I honestly have no idea what we're gonna do for Thanksgiving. It may just be me and Rob. It may be my brother and his brother. It may be, you know, my brother, his brother, and my niece and my sister-in-law. I have no idea. I'm considering doing a prime rib. I don't know. So those are going to be like, it's going to be really tough to figure out what I'm going to do for the holidays. And you can do low carb on the holidays. I mean, there are some of you guys who can do keto all day, every day. And I may do that too. I haven't quite decided. It's really just going to depend on how I feel. Like we've been talking about whether or not we're going to decorate for Christmas. And I was like, it's really going to depend on how I feel. I'm feeling really good. I do still have bad days. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I walked between those 4 days. I averaged about 1,000 steps a day. Thursday, I got 1,600 steps. Saturday, I got like 1,800 steps. So maybe it was more than that. Maybe it's 5,000 steps. Anyway, before that, I was averaging about 600 steps a day. So by Sunday, I was a vegetable for the rest of the day. I was just tired. Like my legs were tired. My arms were tired because I was using the rollator, and there's no way to lift it to make it higher. And the problem is it's like really, really low. And the other issue is with the rollator is Damon, who is my physical therapist, and I had talked about this before. And he's like, that's really for people who, and I think I mentioned this in the last video. He said, that's really for people who have, you know, they need to sit down. He's like, so they have endurance issues. He's like, it's not meant to be, it's not stable. And that was the God's honest truth, because I found myself having a really hard time because I was used to my walker, which is very stable. Like you put weight on it, it's not going anywhere unless you move it. And with the rollator, if you put weight on it, you're going, boom. So that was a little difficult for sure. But, other than that, I feel like I'm doing fine. I've been, you know, cooking. I sit in my wheelchair and cook a little bit. Standing, I probably can stand for about 5 minutes, which is actually really good because I haven't been able to stand like that in forever. There were a couple of times when we were at the doctor's where I had to stand up a little bit, and so it wasn't that big of a deal. Walking far distances is still a struggle. So every time, like the couple of times we've gone somewhere, I've had to stop and rest, which is why I have the rollator, so I can sit down wherever I am and stop and rest. So I've had to do that a couple of times while I was at the doctor's office, but I just feel like I'm getting stronger every single day. So, like I said, I have the 8th, which I think is what? Friday will be 1 month post-op, which is insane because it doesn't feel like a month ago, you know, I had surgery. So I'm really, you know, I feel really blessed that the surgery has worked on the area where it was bothering me. Now, I think I've mentioned before that I have an irritated or pinched nerve in my thoracic spine. So you have 3 levels of your spine. Your cervical spine, which is like, you know, the base of your shoulders up. Your thoracic spine is like around your rib cage, and then your lumbar spine is underneath that. So last night I got in bed and I was laying on my side and I had the sharpest pain shoot through my side. I mean, I was almost in tears. It hurt so bad. And it was just like, vroom, 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 vroom. So I knew it was nerve pain. Nerve pain is normally sharp and shooting, and muscle pain is normally achy. That's kind of the difference. And I was just like, what the hell? Because I'm already on Lyrica. I'm taking the largest dose that you can take. You know, I'm already on nerve pain medicine. I just taken tramadol. I'm only taking tramadol in the morning and then in the evening for bedtime. There's been a couple of times, like on Sunday, where I had to take it midday, but I've been icing if I need it. But anyway, so it was just, Rob's like, what's the matter? And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, why is it that we get one thing fixed and the next thing comes right behind it? And it was like, oh, I'm gonna die. But yeah, it finally, I had to like adjust. And when I adjusted, it loosened up a little bit, but it was so so painful. I still have lower back pain and that's what they said, like this surgery wasn't to treat the lower back pain. This surgery was to relieve the pressure on the nerve, which was causing the sciatica. So I'm still having lower back pain, still using patches on my neck. So I still am experiencing those things, still experiencing, nerve pain going down my arms. I'm still experiencing, either my full hand or fingers will go numb. It wakes me up in the middle of the night. So I'm still having nerve pain. And there's basically like 3 medications to treat it that my doctor, and I even asked Jake, on Wednesday, I'm like, what else can I take? And he's like, there's gabapentin. He's like, but that's about it. And I'm like, God dang it. And I know a lot of people like take Cymbalta. I took Cymbalta for depression and it caused me to be suicidal. So that's a no-go. Topramat, I tried that. That didn't do anything. It could have been I was on the lowest dose, but it still didn't really do much of anything. Today I'm going to therapy. This will be the first day that I've had therapy since before surgery. He was going to make house calls, but honestly, I've been okay. Rob and I had a little rough couple of days, those first couple of days, but that was really because he was frustrated. And he was frustrated because he couldn't help. He couldn't make it better. And I told him in the hospital, and I told him when we got home, I was like, stop feeling bad about that you can't help. I said, it's not your fault. I was like, you are not the surgeon. He was just really frustrated that I was having such a hard time. And unfortunately, it caused us to be arguing instead of, it's hard when you go through a major surgery like that. Plus we were both tired. He stayed in the hospital the first night and oh my God, they didn't even try to be quiet when they came in to check, blood work and stuff like that. And I know he didn't get very much sleep. So we were both tired. I was in a shit ton of pain. Second guessing whether or not I should have been home. But anyway, he's been a godsend. He really has been. That man, he deserves a medal and everything he could ever want in his life. This is our 10-year anniversary, and we've been thinking about whether or not we want to go on like a little small trip. And then I said, well, what about if we, start putting money aside for a big trip for next year? But then I was like, do I want to waste money on a vacation, or do we want to remodel the bathroom? Because we really need to remodel the bathroom. So anyway, I'm getting really off tangent, and this is about 20 minutes long, and I need to go. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate you. Things are going well. I'm going to try to film some full day of eating keto videos, get back into doing that. I have probably 4 or 5 videos that I want to film. I'm going to film, I picked up the Magic School cereal and the Cereal School cereal, and I've been trying those out. I'm going to film a video about the diet soda debacle that's been going on. So I have a few things for you in the works. But yeah, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fantastic week, and I will see you either this weekend or sometime next week. Bye for now.